Hello, my name is Rachel Peasley, and I'm the Assistant Director of the Admissions Office here at Lewis Clark State College. And today I'm going to show you how to create a Be a Warrior account, which is how you can request information from Lewis Clark State College and also how you can begin starting your application. So the easiest way to do this is just to go up here to the Apply button in the upper right-hand corner, click Apply, and then choose what type of student you are, whether you're a first-year student, a transfer student, returning, or non-degree. I'm going to use the first-year student as an example. When you click into this, it gives you a list of things that students are going to need to do along with their application. But go ahead and just click the Apply button here, and that will then take you to your Be a Warrior account. And you can either choose to request information or create an account. So we'll just create an account. Click that link over there, and you'll see that there are some required fields that you'll need to submit in order for your application to be complete. So you can just go ahead and fill out these ones, especially the ones with the red asterisks. So I'm going to do it with my information just to get this process started, but obviously you would then do it with your information. You'll see if it doesn't have an asterisk on it, that's not a field that you need to fill out. However, at some point you may want that information, especially with your phone numbers. So I definitely encourage you to go ahead and submit that. You'll choose your birth date in here, and I'm just gonna go ahead and make up a birthday, I think. So we'll just go with June 11th of 2019. You can indicate whether you would like to receive text messages or not, and I do, so I'll leave that there. And I do live inside the United States, so I would go ahead and just leave that checked. Oops. So you're just filling out the basic information. Have you or will you receive a GED? I would say no. I'm a high school graduate, and then I'm going to go ahead and click Add My High School here. To find your high school, the easiest way to do that is just put the name of your high school in on school name and the city that your school is located in. A lot of times people live in a town and their school name is a different name. So this does help kind of isolate the search. Click the search button, and it gave me a couple of different ideas on where I might have gone to Lewiston High School. I went to high school in Lewiston, Idaho, so I would click the little button there to the left. And the important thing here is to make sure that you click select, and that will add your high school. And you can see once it comes back that there's my high school in there. I'm going to indicate the attended from month as August, the attended to month as May. I know that many of you maybe start in September and end in June, but this is a really good starting point. And then you're going to indicate the years that you attended. So if I graduated in 2020, I would go back 4 years, even though I maybe only lived there for 2 years, and I would put the whole 4 years. The parent information is optional. However, we do encourage you to put that in there just so that if you want information sent to your parents, then they can go ahead and get that information. And that can be very helpful to them and to you as well. So this is my dad, we'll just say, there we go. Indicate if your parent primarily speaks Spanish. Yes or no, and then have you or one of your immediate family members worked as a migrant or seasonal farm worker in the areas of agriculture, dairy fisheries, etc. This will help us determine if you qualify for certain programs here at Lewis Clark State College. Then you get back down to the required fields, and you're going to indicate when you plan to attend. I want to start at LC in the fall of 2020. And I will be a freshman student. Even if I've done dual credit, then I would choose freshman. And I'm going to choose to go to class in Lewiston on the main campus. I am really, really, really interested in studying creative writing, so that's the choice I make there. Here you're going to go ahead and put your password in. And this password is unique to you. Make sure you're using something that you will remember. And then it does require that you put in a password question. So if you forget your password will ask you this question in order to reset it. So favorite pet name, and then you have to put the answer in order to reset your password. So that is how you do that. Really easy. And then you just go ahead and you click create account. So now that you have created an account, you will be able to create your application. And this is a really easy thing to do. And what you'll do is you'll just click this create a new application. Pretty easy. Start a new undergraduate application, and this takes you back into that main login page where we started. And this is where you're going to go ahead and put in your email address that you initially started with and that password that you just put in. And then go ahead and log in, and it will automatically pull up the information that you put in when you created your application. So select an area of interest. This is what I want to do. I'll click next. And like I said, it will just pull up all of the information that you put in. And you can go through here and you can add information. So for example, if you wanted to put in your middle name, you could do that. You could add your gender. If you have a maiden name or you were adopted and have a different name, you're going to verify your address. You may have a different mailing address than your permanent home address. Some people live in a place and then they get their mail at a PO box. And if that is different, you can add that here. I'm verifying my phone number and my email address. And then once I'm satisfied with that, I will then go ahead and click save and continue. And then it goes to demographics. This section is optional, but it's encouraged. If you do not provide your social security number here, you will need to supply it later as a supplemental item. So the social security number is how we link your application for admission to your financial aid information. So if you do know your social security number, I do encourage you to go ahead and put it in this space right here. You can click through here if you're military service, active reserve, and you can choose your ethnicity information. Again, this is all voluntary, so you can choose to put it in or not. And then you'll go ahead and go to save and continue. This takes you to enrollment information. This is about halfway done. And all you're doing is verifying when you're starting, where you're going to go to school, what your major is, and then again, your enrollment status. Save and continue again. And then this takes you to family. And again, a lot of this stuff is optional, but encouraged. So you can go ahead and go through here. One question they ask is, has your parent earned a bachelor's degree or higher? That can make you eligible for some different programs as well. So you may want to be honest when you do that. I'm going to go ahead and put my dad's information in here again, just in case, and then save and continue again. Takes you to academics. So academics, this is where if you didn't enter information earlier, you'll enter it in now. So did you or will you graduate from high school? I'm going to say yes, because I'm going to graduate in 2020. I do not have a GED. I went to school at Lewiston High School, which you can see is in here. And I attended from 2016 to 2020, which I did when I created the account. If you have attended a college or university other than Lewis Clark State College, you will click yes, and you will add that college here. So for example, if you did dual credit through another school besides Lewis Clark State College, you're going to want to put that in there. So I'm going to say that I took dual credit classes at Boise State University. And again, I'm just going to go ahead and put the school name in there and the city. Click search. Choose the correct school that comes up, and then again, the key is to click select, and it's going to ask me when I attended. Well, I only attended for 1 year because I did dual credit my junior year, so I'm going to say that I started there in 2018 and I finished there in 2019. If you attended multiple colleges, you can put that in there as well, especially if you are a transfer student. You're going to want to include all of the places that you've gone to. Notice that you don't have to do that. It is optional, but it is easier to do it on this end of things. So then you'll go ahead and click save and continue, and that will take you to residency. A lot of people get hung up on this section, so I'll try to make it as specific as possible. So what you're going to do is you're going to choose the state of residency that you live. This is where you live, which state you live in. So I live in Idaho, so I would click Idaho, and I'm going to say that I was born here. And we all know that I made up my birth date as June 11th, 2019. So that's what I'm going to put in here. And I still live there. So I'm going to put today's date. Very easy. If I would have lived in in Idaho for less than 12 months, for example, if I moved here from another state, I would then choose from the drop-down menu which state I lived in previously, and I would add that there. Because I live in Lewiston, the current county that I live in is Nez Perce. And again, I've lived here my whole life, so I'm going to put my birth date in here, and then I'm going to go ahead and put today's date in here. If I had just moved to Lewiston from somewhere else, I would again just put the previous country in here. This here is where you are going to verify that you are an Idaho resident for tuition purposes. For example, if you are not an Idaho resident, you're going to scroll all the way down to the bottom and you're just going to check number 12 and you're going to say, I am not a resident of Idaho for fee paying purposes. If you live in Washington or New York or anywhere like that. In my case, I am a high school student. I receive 50% of my financial support from my parents, and my parents live in Idaho. They are domiciled in Idaho. They have maintained a bona fide domicile, which means that they've lived in Idaho in a real place for at least 12 months. So when I do that, I'm going to click yes, and it's going to ask for my parents' name and address, and I'm going to just go ahead and add that in here. And I'm going to say that my dad has lived here his entire life, and he was born on April Fool's Day of who knows what year, let's say 1951, just for giggles, and then today's date. You can also see that there are other options. You receive less than 50% of your financial support, and you're an Idaho resident, you click 2. Maybe you're married to an Idaho resident, or military information. Perhaps you have been separated from the armed forces, or you have graduated from a school in Idaho, and I could also click that one. And that you completed 6 years of elementary, you could also click that one, but you mainly just need to be able to click one of these 12 options here. Then you're going to go ahead and click Save and Continue. And now you are being taken to your very last page here, and it's the writing and signature page. And this is where you are encouraged to choose options as to how you chose LCSC. And I'm going to say that I visited campus and that I really liked one of the recruiters. And then I'm going to verify that my information is correct. So yes, I understand that I can't alter what I'm doing, that it is the true information that I have provided, and that I understand that LCSC is still going to choose to admit me or not. And then I'm going to go ahead and put in my name right here. And then you can either preview before you submit to verify the information, or you can click the blue Submit Application button. And if you click that, it should take you right to the page that says, congratulations, you have created your application. So there you go. You are now a soon-to-be LCSC warrior.